Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Lock the doors.
No, you don't have to close it.
Yes, close it, lock it, bar it, whatever you have to do. It's 10 o'clock. Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. If you don't know my name is Tabitha Cuevas, and I'm going to take these off so I can see you. I am the director of the design studio or building development. And with me today are our office folks, and we're going to have you get to know them a little bit better today. We're going to see how talented I am because I get to use a clicker and a microphone and turn my pages. So let's see if we can do that. So our design studio team, so in our office on the 9th floor in apartment 924 is where we live. I am the director of building development. We've got Teresa Morehouse, who is our design studio manager and quality assurance manager. And then there's probably two new faces up here that you may or may not have seen before. And that's Sharon Gonzalez and Shay Ivory, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. So about me, you see I have blonde hair in these pictures. I've gone through a little bit of a change. So the women like to change it up every now and then. So up in the top corner, that's my husband and I at a UT football game. Yes, thank you. We have been married for 26 years. In the bottom corner is a picture of our best friends, Justin and Natalie, and my cousin Gina. I don't have any siblings, so she's the closest thing I have to a sister. Up in the top middle, so those are pictures of my kiddos on vacation. So we like to go to Mexico, Isla Mujeres, the Dominican, Colorado, Montana. We just love to travel together and make memories. In the bottom middle, you'll see there's a picture of me bottling at Garrison Brothers Distillery in High, Texas. So Garrison Brothers is very near and dear to my heart. If you love good bourbon, they say good bourbon can change the world, and I agree with that. On the top, you'll see a picture of my English Mastiff, Goliath. He just went to the vet. He weighed in at 120 pounds, so he's a big guy. And then yes, he does weigh more than some of the residents do, that is correct. And then below Goliath is Lilith. She is our Great Dane Mastiff mix, and she comes in 5 pounds behind him at 115 pounds. And when she stands up to give me hugs, she puts her paws on my shoulders, so we're about eye to eye when she's standing up. The good thing is they're very lovable dogs. So all they want to do is cuddle and hug, and they're not aggressive at all. Everybody always sees them and runs the other way at the dog park, but it's kind of like me. If I'm not smiling, I look kind of mean. So if they're wagging their tails, it's okay. And then that bottom picture is my 3 kiddos in the middle with their significant others, so they are like my children as well. So moving to the real boss of the design studio is Teresa. Teresa and her husband Brian will be married for 40 years in June. Woo! Teresa, he's put up with her for this long, guys. She has on here military brat. I did not add that word. She's the one who used brat. Her dad was in the military. She is a retired dental hygienist, so if you need any work done, come see Teresa. She can do those off duty and free of charge if you would like that. She is very active in her community. When her kids were younger, she was a 4-H mom, a band booster president, and is currently her HOA secretary. So she's not busy at all. She loves being a seamstress. That's her hobby. She actually made her daughter's wedding dress, and I'm sure all of you know Emily, who's in the back. She is a lifelong advocate for her parents, helping them with the VA, taxes, taking them to doctor's appointments, and anything else that they need. Next, we've got Sharon. Sharon, say hi. I asked the girls, I said, do you guys want to talk or do you want me to talk? Well, they said, you can do it. So here I am. So Sharon is an avid traveler. She has explored incredible destinations like Thailand, Greece, South Korea, and many more. So definitely more world traveled than I am. I like to stay just local. At home, she enjoys life with her husband, Edward, and their beautiful blended family, which includes a daughter and 3 sons. She has a very strong background in aviation. Sharon brings years of expertise in logistical planning, project management, and hands-on operations. So you can see how that would greatly benefit the design studio. And she is definitely channeling all of that into her work now. Then we've got Shay. So I had the girls write some fun facts about them, and in her fun fact it says that she had 2 dragons, and I was like, dragons aren't real, right? Or just want to double check on that. So they're bearded dragons, and their names are Legend and Rogue. Shay has an interior design background experience in residential, commercial, and in healthcare. She loves sales and marketing and advocating for those in need. She loves to play Oculus VR, sing karaoke, go to amusement parks, and cook new dishes. So if you can see up in that top corner in neon lights, it says Rose, and that is actually a bar that Shay helped design that was in Hollywood Park. And don't forget her loving boyfriend named Clarence, who was eating some delicious food. We're going to have to talk about where that is. See, I said I was going to have to flip and click and all this other stuff, so you guys just have to bear with me. And then, of course, here's the muscle of our team. So these are our guys that work underneath our team. So we are 15 folks strong. So we have 7 painters and then 4 gentlemen on our team that do more of handyman type skills. They put up fencing, install appliances. So that's why I call them the muscle of our team. So what's our main purpose? We do individual appointments to select finishes and features in the design studio. So what you're seeing up there are 5 design boards. So at the top you'll see 2 styles of cabinet. Underneath that are a couple of different backsplash options, and then countertops, which are quartz, and then our flooring that we put in. So when somebody comes into the design studio, it's what I like to refer to as paper dolls. So you kind of get to cut and paste and play, and you get to do all of that in our virtual kitchen. So that picture that you're seeing there of the kitchen is our virtual presence kitchen. So we can go in and we can change the cabinets to a different color. All of the selections that we have in the studio we can put up there so people can see in real time what their homes are going to look like. And how those finishes go together. I also like to say that it paints a really nice picture of what they're going to see. And sometimes when they paint that picture and we're not able to show it here, it may not be the best of color choices. So the virtual kitchen has really helped us to be able to show folks what that's going to look like without us saying, are you sure? Maybe the gray flooring doesn't go well with that beige cabinet. And so that virtual kitchen that we have now really helps us do that. And so I'm very thankful to have this. We are the only CCRC, or really the only people in Texas to have this virtual kitchen for senior living. So it's a very big deal, and we're very proud of it. And then I'm just going to show you a few of the kitchens that we have finished. So if you have lived here a while, and this is how I very first heard about the kitchens in the high-rise, they were referred to as one-butt kitchens because that's the only amount of butts you could fit in that kitchen. So now what we're doing is we're opening those kitchens up so where a few butts can fit in there. And so what's really happening is you're taking something that was kind of dark and small, and you're opening that up and you're adding lighting, and it now opens up into the living dining room area. A lot of natural light comes through there. So these are a few of those that you're seeing. And then you're also seeing medicine cabinets are outdated now. I still like them. But the medicine tower is what has replaced the medicine cabinet now. It just gives it more of an elegant look and feel, and it's not recessed into the wall anymore. And then of course, the showers that we're creating those with the lowest barrier possible while still keeping it safe for people to be in their homes. We have to have a little bit of a barrier because if we didn't, the water would come out and then that would make a very slippery surface for folks. So we have to think about things like that when we're designing. Somebody asked if it was possible to create a curbless shower. It is a little bit easier to do out in the cottages because you can create more of a slant and slope to that drain. In the high rise, it's a little more problematic because of the square footage that we're having to work in. But there are things that we can do for people who need kind of a barrier-free shower to get into. And we'll talk about that a little bit later when we get into aging in place. But for now, I am going to turn it over to Teresa to talk about a few of the things that she's in charge of.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Let me just say I'm just excited to have our 2 new counselors in there, and they're just learning very quickly, teaching me things, so it's been real fun. I work with the resident upgrade. Like if you have something you want to change in your home, you contact me. I will then reach out to the ARC approved vendor to get quotes. I'll get back with you. If you agree upon it, then I'll have paperwork, and we have to get a 50% deposit, and then I tell the contract to move forward, and we'll get all that completed. Some of the most popular items are the patio and balcony upgrades. We do have some people doing landscaping. The Mylar windows have become very, very popular lately. People see them in other units and then they want them, and they are very nice to make it. They like it because there's less dust getting in there. The next thing I am responsible for is the refurbishment program. This program has really been good. It's intended to refresh and brighten older residences, creating a more enjoyable living space. And we're going by years, and it's by how much time you've been in that particular home. So we've done 20 years, 15 to 19 years, 14 years, and 13 years. So now we're currently working on 12. What this includes is painting the walls in the kitchen, living room, and bedrooms only. No trim, no doors. And then we're also replacing flooring for like flooring. If you have carpet there, we'll replace it for carpet. LVT, we'll do LVT. Some people have wanted to change their carpet to LVT, and we can do that, and you just pay the price difference. The time frame on getting all this done, painting takes usually about 10 working days. If we do change flooring, it's an additional 5 days. We're replacing appliances in the kitchen that are 7 years or older, which would include the refrigerator, dishwasher, stoves, and microwaves. And we replace them with stainless steel. We have housekeeping helping us with this project, and once we agree upon everything and you sign off on it and we get everything organized, then housekeeping comes in, they move any furniture to the center of the room if we're painting walls, and they protect it. And then our team goes in there and does the painting. The flooring would be last if we're doing flooring, and then housekeeping comes back in, takes off the drapery, cleans up, and moves the furniture back to where it originally was. That's it.
We have been asked before if you have to get stainless steel appliances. I think some people are opposed to stainless steel because of the fingerprints. The answer is no. If you wanted to stick with white appliances, we can't get almond or avocado anymore, so I apologize for that. But if you want to keep white or black appliances, you are certainly welcome to do that. So something that I recently received is my Certified Aging in Place Specialist. It was taught by the National Association of Home Builders. It was taught by an occupational therapist who has her doctorate in occupational therapy. So she was a really good wealth of knowledge. She also left the door open to my class of 6 people that if we had questions, we could email her at any time. She will consult with us for free, which was amazing. I mean, not a lot of people are offering those kind of services to people, but she wholeheartedly believes that people should be able to age in place. And so she left that door open for us, and every time she teaches somebody, she says she learns something new or she learns about a new product. And so just being able to go back to somebody like that, I think is amazing that she did that for us. And she was also the National Association of Home Builders Educator of the Year. So she is, very good at what she does, and it was just very helpful to our class. So the other folks that I was in class with were 2 people who were occupational therapists for the VA, and then Habitat for Humanity folks. So if you can imagine, the range of pricing for upgrading things in your home is pretty vast, and when you're working through the VA, there's not always a lot of money for that. And so they've come up with inexpensive ways, how you can add a grab bar to a shower without having to tear out tile and go back in and re-block because there's no blocking there. If you were to put that grab bar in and there's no blocking behind that wall, you might as well just be grabbing at the air because it's not going to do you any good. So there are some products now that actually install, kind of works on tension, and it goes from the ceiling to the floor, and you put so much tension in that pole, and then it has a B-shaped handle on both sides of it so that you can use it from any direction. And that is a much more cost-effective way to add a grab bar next to a shower instead of having to break out tile, add in blocking, and then sometimes you can't match tile, so then you have to change out the entire shower. So you can imagine that it's a very costly item to be able to put in your home that now we have options for that I wouldn't have necessarily known about. And just a statistic for you quickly, it's been reported that 77% of seniors over 50 want to stay in their homes and age in place, as opposed to going to an assisted living or a skilled nursing facility. I think sometimes for people it's a dignity thing. Other times for people it can be about monetary. So everybody has their own set of circumstances and their own sets of priorities and what's important to them. And we just want to be able to help, especially here, with the folks who are like our extended family on what we can do for you in your home. So some of the most common things that we're looking at are the grab bars like I talked about before. Here you see one next to the toilet, where again, I don't have to worry about the blocking because now I'm mounted to the floor. So that can save some money. And so really it's the cost of the fixture and any repairs we would have to do. So for that one, it'd be less than $150 to do something like that. If we were adding that traditional grab bar that you see at an angle and we had to block, we're talking multiple thousands of dollars to do that. In the middle there, you see a threshold ramp. Again, instead of having to break out the threshold that you have, there are products that you can put on top of your current threshold that makes it a lot easier for somebody who needs to get in that has an assistive device. Doorways have been a very big deal, making sure that they're 36 inches. So in the construction that we're doing now, anywhere we can have the doors at 36 inches, we are doing that. So we are definitely thinking about long-term in the new units that we're doing as well. And then on the other side, you're seeing some cabinet modifications that can be made. So those pull-out drawers and cabinets, adding multiple drawers instead of the cabinets that open and have a stationary shelf, that is very hard to get to. And then something that I didn't even know existed were these pull-down shelves that you can have in your upper cabinets. So, I am vertically challenged. And there are folks that are shorter than I am who would have a difficult time reaching those high cabinets and shelves. So this actually gets installed into the cabinet and you can pull it down from a handle so that you can get to stuff a lot easier than having to reach up above your head. And there are many other modifications, and what I would say to you is if there are things that you're thinking about that you would like to explore for your home, come up and see us. We'd be happy to talk to you about what we can do for you. And I know you guys have been waiting to hear about this. So this is me and my Margarita sisters. We do apologize that we had to cancel our April class, but having two new design counselors in the studio, we're trying to make sure that they have all the knowledge that we have to help folks who are coming in and to help you guys when you want to come in and talk to us about upgrades. And you know, as Teresa mentioned, they are already running. You know, we're like, okay, guys, you take your time. We can learn this, you know, slowly. You know, we want you to feel comfortable. And they're like, we're ready to do our own appointment. And I said, ladies, slow down. But truly, I mean, they are so excited to be here. I have enjoyed watching them interact with residents. They're both very full of energy and excited to help. And so we are so thankful that they came and joined us here at the ARC. But back to mixology. We will return. So our next class is June the 11th at 2 o'clock up in Grandview. Some folks had asked us for, I believe, spicy margaritas. So those will be on the menu in June. So let's work together. You know, let's talk about what you want to do to your homes now. You know, maybe you were thinking, I don't know, I'm ready for a cabinet change or a countertop change. Come up and talk to us. We're on the 9th floor, apartment 924. You have some handouts. So that first sheet is talking about who we are and what we do. Our contact information is in there. I also have some information on contractors. We get a lot of questions about contractors working in the building and, you know, what are the hours?